Hi, everyone. I hope everyone's day has been amazing, wonderful. I'm Yeme Jeaneé with Farsight, and it's wonderful to see you all here this morning. I love the waves. I love the waves. Today I'll be teaching a little bit of things about how we do our scientific remote viewing techniques, as well as maybe touching on a little bit of telepathy. So I want you all to clear your minds. I want you all to grab a piece of paper. It can be any type of paper, a pen or a pencil, a notebook, a whiteboard, whatever it is that you can find with you. It won't be strenuous, but I want to teach you guys a few things today. But before we start, I want you guys to quickly type out how your day is going. And I hope everyone's day is doing wonderful. Yay! We're all in here. We're all here. I love it. Busy, good, nice sunny morning. It's raining out here in Atlanta. I woke up to thunder and lightning. That's wonderful. And still breathing is good. Thank God it's Friday. I love it. So this is something really big for me, being personable, being able to get to know who I'm working with. If you're ever to take a class with me, a full-on class, I do my best to have a meet and greet a day or two before our course starts, because I want to know you and I want you to know who I am outside of just the camera on Farsight, outside of just a remote viewer. I'm a person. We're all people. I guess maybe I'm an alien. Who knows? I'm silly. I'm funny. I'm a mom. And today I just want to share some of my techniques. That's okay, Roar. I like that name. We're going to do a little meditation. So hopefully we can settle your mind and we can release that hectic energy from today. Yes, so that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to write a word on the board. Shanim. Now, I never said my handwriting was perfect, but I think it's a masterpiece. And that is mana. So if you all are wherever you are, Shanim mana. I want you all to say that. And I'm going to say it again and again just to get it in your head. That is Shanim, Shanim, mana. This is a Farsight mantra that was created and geared to release tiredness and to clear the mind. The syllables in these words were geared towards things that you would hear every day in like your around settings, whether it's the humming or rumming of your house, your fridge, your air conditioner, the driving and things you'll hear outside on the road. When I first started remote viewing, I remote viewed across the street from a very busy train track. Now I live across the street from a very busy train track. So this actually works for me. You can do this meditation anywhere. I do have a meditation video on here that does teach about this. So I'm only going to touch on this shortly. But you can do this meditation anywhere. Walking mantras. My son does it sometimes, or I will do it. Shani mana, shani mana. And we can do this at a loud restaurant. You can do this in the transit station. You can do this outside at a party, and it will always focus and center you back in. Someone says they can't see anything. Can you hear me? Can you hear me well? Well, you guys told me you're aliens and told me about your day, so you can hear me. Let's see what we can do about you getting to see me, Charlotte. It's not a language, okay, and you hear me, both good. Doesn't mean anything. Well, once again, the purpose behind it was created. So it was a created mantra via Courtney, but it was geared and created just to be able to have, to create calmness of the mind. And it was geared towards being able to sound like the environment around you with all the syllables that are here. Charlotte, I'm not sure what's going on, but hopefully you can tune in soon. And we will also have a replay for if the live stream has any weird glitches, because it is technology and we are in a retrograde. So what we're going to start with, now that we know how to say Shani Mana, we're going to start with what we call asanas. And that is like a connecting with your heart. It's connecting your body to your heart, connecting your body, filling ourselves, reminding ourselves that we're here. This helps us come back into ourselves. So we will start with our head. Do this with me, guys, because we're going to go into a nice 5-minute meditation. And go down to our shoulders. Women, born a woman, will use your right hand to go touch your heart. Fellas, anybody that are gentlemen, born a man, will use their left hand to touch to their heart. And then we will go, ladies, follow me, and fellas, do the opposite. We'll take our right hand and go up and massage our left arm. Fellas will do the exact opposite. Bring it up to our shoulders and go to our heart. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Fellas, swap sides. And we'll do the same thing. Ladies, to your right first. Fellas, to your left. Go to our feet. Calves, ankles, legs, knees, thighs, hip. I like to go to my back and tummy and back up to our heart. And we'll do the same to the other side, opposite sides. Typically this is done a little bit faster, but sometimes I do like to slow it down because it reminds me to take a beat and take a breath. We're going to use, ladies, your left hand, fellas, your right, our thumb and our ring finger. So if we see our thumb and our ring finger here, this is called pranayama. It is a breathing exercise that alternates the nostrils. What this does is it moves and it alternates, shuts off the different sides of your hemispheres of your brain, thus pulling you deeper into yourself and into your meditation. And we're going to use our ring finger first. So you're going to close each nostril like so. As you do so, you'll be breathing out, in, out, in, out, in, right? Per one. So we're going to start off very fast, like a panting dog, or like what you would see a mouse type of way. Every time that you close a nostril, it'll be an out-in breath. And then we're going to slow it down. Slowing your breath down, centering into self. If you are driving, do not close your eyes. But if you are stationary listening to this live stream, Blow out any residual energy. We're going to sit silently for about 30 seconds with our eyes closed. We're going to start off saying out loud the words Shanim Mana, and then we'll trail in just saying it in our mind over and over. Shanim Mana, Shanim Mana, Shanim Mana, Shanim Mana, Shanim Mana, Shanim Mana, Shanim Mana. And I want you all to continue to say it in that pace in your mind. If you get distracted, just bring the mantra back to self. I want you all to slowly, slowly open your eyes. Please do not pop them open. Give yourself a moment to come into yourself. Now, this was a short, brief meditation. Typically with longer ones, you definitely don't want to pop open, as you will become quite disoriented. Quite disoriented. The purpose for meditation is because we will calm the mind. I typically like to meditate for well over 30 minutes. Dr. Brown suggests about a good 20 to 30 minutes. I like to instruct my students to meditate around 45 plus minutes. There seems to be a few people that are not seeing the stream. And that's okay. There we are. Charlotte figured it out. I was just going to ask you that. And Charlotte, I hope this meditation kind of centered you a little bit. So because we only have a good 45 minutes left, I want to get straight into the punch of things. We're going to have just a few targets here. I'm going to give you guys some target coordinates. No, the target coordinates are not, they are not a location. They are not the target of the longitude and latitude of the location. What they are just random numbers that distract our conscious mind. As they distract our conscious mind, it allows us to get to our ideogram, which we will go into today. So somewhere on a sticky note or on the top of your page, wherever you are, I want you to write 9350/6834. Now, what's going to happen is when you do pull up the target coordinates, when we get ready to do our target coordinate with our ideogram, it'll look like this. All right? Followed by whatever the ideogram is right here. What are ideograms? Ideograms are a trace out. It's like a language here for remote viewing. Ideograms are a tracing of what's at the target. And so we have things similar to structure. This comes in 4 different ways. And let's see, this way. So we have 4 different structures. We have land, which looks like so, just a horizontal line. We have mountain, right? These are the names of them. We have movement. Movement also has 3 different ones. So we have our movement. That's our upward movement, diagonal upward. Our horizontal movement, back and forth. And our diagonal downward movement, right? And we have our energetics, right? It can be multi-directional movement, swirling around. And please enjoy my sound effects. I'm a mom of a kid. Everything has to have sound effects when you're a mom. And we have our subject ideogram, right? Subject are our people, our aliens, our AIs, our beings or creatures, isbies, our spirits that we have come across. If you have been watching, that is how we identify them in our sessions, as curving upward, over, around, and out type of thing here. These are what we use to get us to where the target is. So what we do is what I want you to do is take a deep breath and get ready to roll into wherever we're time traveling to right now. At the top left corner, oh, actually, before we do that, I want to run through a few of our notes. We have what we call our primitive descriptors. Oh, right, thank you. Water, look at me. Water. Like someone's like something is missing. So what we have are what I call our primitive descriptors, which are hard, soft, semi-hard, semi-soft, wet, and mushy. We do have all of these things as a list on farsight.org. Our advanced descriptors are natural, man-made, artificial, movement, and energetics. What we have are our dynamics. Is something static or dynamic, which will be static is D minus, dynamic is D plus. And what is the complexity of this target? How do all of these things feel to you? Is it simplex, which is our C minus, or complex, which is our C plus? So we have our D minuses, our C minuses, right? And I will be going over, as we're doing this, what our primitive and advanced descriptors are. Probing the ideogram, we will probe our ideogram. So when we have this beautiful target coordinate here, that means absolutely nothing. One of these gorgeous little creatures over here is going to pull out, right? Just on its own. We don't tell ourselves to do it. It just does it by way of our higher self communicating with our hands and our body. What we have is, this is our mind and this is our higher self. These target coordinates creates the opening about yay small, right? And your higher self is like, I have nanoseconds to just shoot this information through here, through this tiny hole before it shuts down, before your conscious mind realizes I'm not in control. Conscious mind does not like to not be in control. We'll probe these ideograms. What probing looks like is like a dot. I'm drawing it dramatically big just so you can see it, but it's a nice simple touch to the ideogram, like so. And then you pull back, you write down what you feel, what you get. Very simplistic. A flash sketch is closing your eyes, tilting your head back at a 45-degree angle, or what I like to playfully call an acute triangle. And when you open your eyes, you should have seen a random image. It could be 2 lines. It could be a huge masterpiece. It could be just one of these, a few of these ideograms in different placements. It could look or be anything. It could look like anything. It could feel like anything. And you just draw it immediately. And it doesn't have to be cute. It doesn't have to be pretty. My stick people are pretty awesome. So I'm pretty sure your stick people will be pretty awesome too. We're all stick people Picassos, right? You do not have to be an artist to be able to do this. Also, we have probing sketch elements. So if I have cute little structures here, right, on some land, or what we like to call our base surface, and that's all I see. Maybe I see some mountains, right? Not fancy. I'll touch each element or underneath or in between these spaces, right? And you can even probe outside of the sketch elements of the spaces. You know, whatever it is, you probe, you feel, you connect with that target, with that energy. That's how this happens. And then you write down what you feel. Okay, this is, this feels natural. You'll write down the word natural. I'm gonna use some abbreviations here. This feels man-made, right? This feels like land, right? Man-made land, right? Or natural land. Whatever it may or may not be, you just write it down and you compile your evidence together, your data together. Hands grabbing. If you're in my class, you'll kind of see me, and I go through all of this I go through this list of things during my course. Well, I'm going to pretty much yell at you like a drill sergeant, and you're going to be like, why are you being mean? I'm not being mean. I love you, right? And I'm going to say, put your pen down and grab it now, right? Grab your target, grab your target. And you're just going to throw your hands up because you have no idea why I'm yelling at you. And whatever your hands do in that moment, we're going to stay there. So if we're here, we'll stay there. Don't move. Let's feel out what this target feels like. Let's move around it. You know, right now for this example, I'm going to say it's a bowl of fruit. And I've grabbed this bowl and I'm recognizing that it's cold and it's got natural yet man-made feels to it, right? It's round. Feels like a bowl. That'd be a deduction, right? We'll deduct a bowl. A deduction looks like this. Bowl. D-bowl. Put our pen down. Clear that out of our mind because we have no idea if it's a bowl. We might say it feels like a flying saucer. Who knows what our minds are going to do? And then we'll just move around in there and we'll go around and we'll feel that there's natural items in there. So that's kind of what we have. If we have a structure, we're going to trace the structures out with our hands. If we have mountains when we grab it, sometimes they'll be here or sometimes we're at the bottom of this mountain and we start to move up. And oh, look, there's peaks. It's natural. It feels like a pyramid. We deduct pyramid, right? I can't spell pyramid. So don't judge me because I am not the best speller, especially when I'm remote viewing. Guys, you're going to lose your spelling. You're going to use your dexterity. You're going to lose your train of thought because you're trying so hard to get these things out. It's totally fine. It's totally okay. So, with that mini lesson here, we have our vocabulary page that has our base surface. And what that goes through, is it surface level? Is it level topography? Is it irregular topography? Do we have land? We ask, well, probing during these moments. Land? Is this land man-made? Is this land natural? Is this land both man-made with natural components or vice versa? Do I have level or irregular? So we have level topography or irregular topography. Sometimes the land is kind of bumpy, right? Or irregular topography. Sometimes our mountains can be viewed from above as irregular topography. Do we have steep peaks? Do I have water? We're probing for these things. Water, land-water interface. That is where land and water meet. That is where land and water meet. Ice or snow. We're going to probe. Sometimes we'll probe into this water, right? And we'll realize it's very cold. Or this water seems hard, right? Low-level data, low-level information, low-level movement. What am I feeling here? It's cold. I can walk on it, but it's wet. We have ice, right? We can write that down. Feels like snow or ice. What are our atmospherics? Atmospherics are the things that are around us. Natural smells. What am I smelling here? You can sniff. Man-made smells. What am I smelling here? Okay, it smells like this, that, or the third. X, Y, and Z. Smoke or burning. Is it natural or man-made smoke or burning? We will have all of these, a variety of different things, and we'll sniff around as we're probing our ideograms. We'll sniff for those things, we'll move for those things, and find it. We either write it down or we won't. If we don't have it, we will not say, I do not have. What we will say is, I have, or I feel, I am perceiving the lowest possible level of things. Don't go, I smell all explosions with tar and oil. We're not going to, I smell man-made smells. Or I smell chemical smells. They have a chemical effect to it. We're going to deduct chemical, right? It's very harsh. We describe it. We don't name it. So what I like to remind people is open lens, let data flow, and accept anything at all without editing it out. If you feel like you have Spider-Man doing backflips off of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, I want you to let me know that that's what you have. Because while it's very absurd and weird, there's a reason why you said that. And we're going to deduct that, and I'm going to break it down with you. We're going to have this very intimate conversation of me pretty much telling you to tell me every little piece of information that's in your mind. So as you guys are going through this with me today, feel free to type it out. Let me in your mind. I promise I'll be kind. Our senses to check through our hearing, touch, sight, taste, smell. So while we're going through these vocabulary words and our senses of smells, we just keep our minds and our lenses open, and we just allow that data to flow. Do we have structures? While we're looking for structures, is it one or is it multiple? Do we have what appears to be a city? Yes, love from the UK. Hello. Well, are there subjects inside the structures here? Are there subjects on the base surface nearby the structures here? Are these structures made from man-made or natural material? Was the structure made by man hand or subject hand, artificial hands? Is it on land? Is our structure in water? Is it on a flat surface? Is it not located on a surface at all? These are the things we're going to look at with our subjects. And we just go through these vocabulary list of words. Do I have natural objects? Are these objects on or off the surface? We're going to probe around and we'll feel for these things. And this is, again, just a quick brush through of this. Do I have mountains? If we have mountains, we'll say we have mountains. One or multiple, or we might see steep peaks. This is how we describe what that is. Natural surfaces. Our non-surface structures. We have non-surface structures. If we do, is it one or multiple? Is it nearby the ground or distant from the base surface? Does it have subjects inside or nearby, outside? Is it stationary, like a blimp? My mom saw a Goodyear blimp the other day, and I didn't know they still made those. So we still have blimps out here. Is it stationary like a blimp? Is it hovering like a helicopter, right? Is it zooming, flying fast in one direction? Does it have noticeable relative movement? Is it stationary? Is it emitting energetics? Does it have something coming out of it? These are the things we look for. These are the things we're feeling for with that. Do I see any lights in general in here? Are they bright? Are they dim? Are they dark? Do they glow? What does the light look like? We just use our descriptions. Moving through the general environment, we have urban, natural environment. We probe for those things. Which one is it? Is it a harsh urban environment? Is it a harsh natural environment? Examples of harsh natural environments would be the moon. That's very harsh and rugged. Or destruction after a wildfire in a forest. That's a harsh natural environment. One that was created that way and one that something happened to make it that way. What are our harsh man-made environments? We have very harsh urban environments that have been through a few things in its time, and it just has this gritty texture to it. Or yet again, we have a town after a tornado hit. You know, these are various different ways we can describe this is harsh in this situation. Does it have extensive foliage or foliage nearby? Foliage will be the greenery, the grass, the trees, just the nature within it that you will see. And again, is it distant? Is the base surface distant? Is it far away, up above, or am I on it? Am I steady on something here? I know I'm speaking fast, and when I'm in virtual live streams, sometimes I like for my instructor to slow down. We also look at energetics. Energetics, my little swirly multi-directional movement here, we have descriptions of energetics as explosive, swirling, multidirectional movement. We have kinetic, which is fast or slow in one direction. We have fire or heat. These are all signs of energy moving, energetics moving. Now, I know some of you may have heard me say energy. When I say energy, I'm not referring to energetics. I'm referring to maybe the energy of the space. And so that's a little different. Activity or movement by subjects, activity or movement by objects, sounds, talking, shouting voices, booming, roaring, wind type sounds, loud, noticeably quiet, music, rhythm, or pulsing. Are the temperatures hot, moderate, or cold? What are we feeling here and why, right? So we're going to move through this. I'm going to politely shout out these target coordinates to you, and I want you to follow through. I want you to write them like so, one on top of the other versus one on here. This is what you use to look at, to view. This is what it looks like when we are actively in session. Everyone taking a deep breath. Push it out. There was a lot of information. I believe in you guys. You ready? Nine, 3, 5, 0, 6, 8, 3, 4. Push out your ideogram. Everyone type into the chat what you got thus far if you can. If you cannot, that's okay, because we're going to talk about it soon. All right. And remember, is it Neja Mills? You said pyramid. That would be a deduction. You could write peaks, right? Write peaks, because that's you defining. One thing I like to say is describe, do not define. Describe, do not define. We have peaks, water, land-water interfaces. I'm going to sip on some tea. Mountains with line could be water. Okay. Chimney smoke. So you have energetics, chimney smoke. So that's a deduction. Now we write energetics, and then you go in and define, is that energetics, you smell smoke of some sort, or that seems like it's coming from a natural space. Flat land from distance. Dark, wet, dark clouds, light, tall, mountains, range. Okay, these are all good. I think I go to the new. Okay. Continue to move through. Continue to probe that ideogram and expand your mind. Do you? Is it hard? Is it soft? Is it semi-hard? Is it semi-soft? Wet or mushy? What are you getting there? Probe and ask yourself these questions real quick while I'm moving through them. Is it natural? Is it man-made, artificial, movement, or energetics? I'll give you space and time. Do you have a base surface? Probe that. As I'm asking this, go and probe and go, yeah, well, I feel this, and write that down real quick. Do you have land? What does that land look like? Is it irregular? Is it level? I saw someone say they had some snow earlier. Do you have structures on this land? Good. Okay. So trees would be, Richard, trees would be foliage, right? Because we don't know exactly what's there. We don't want to assume and just shout out, this is here, right? We don't want to be like, this is the Taj Mahal. We can't do that. We're going to say, this is a structure. Reminds me, deduction, of the Taj Mahal because of name the feeling. So you have trees, that's foliage, mist. Mist is pretty low level. That is an atmospheric, you know, so you have these different varieties of energetics. Light beams. Yep, I see you deducted. That's good. So you have linear. Where are your linear lines? Are they on the surface or above the surface? Probe for that. Good, semi-hard, mushy. Probe for, all right, we have level land structures, the sun. So you feel heat and you have bright light. Is that snicker fritters? Snickle fritz? These are the cutest names. I love it. So the sun would be bright light, natural, right? Because we don't know. It could be a very bright interrogation light for all we know. We don't want to assume. You hear splashing sounds with water, land in the distance, irregular topography. That's beautiful. Thank you guys for that. Check for non-surface structures. Do you guys see any of those? Check for subjects. And then in about 30 seconds, we're going to view this target. Richard, buildings is a deduction. Buildings would be identified as structures because we don't know if it's a building or if it is just a formation on the land. Good job. Doing great, guys. Such amazing answers. All right, let's take a look at this target here. Drum roll. We have the Grand Tetons, the Teton Range, Tetons. You know, I pronounce things weird. So we have the Teton Range here, Grand Tetons, Teton Range. There are houses or a structure that's here. We have extensive grassy plains. So some of you got structures on the land, extensive grassy plains. Someone said they saw pyramids, but what they saw were steep peaks, mountains, right? We've got a lot of mountains. Somebody said windy. Somebody has some humanoids here, which makes sense. They do like areas like this. Downward movement. Maybe you feel a draft. It's a nice, look at this. So if you got any of these things, let's say you got these, I don't want anyone to say, I didn't get that, or I'm wrong, right? You might have recognized different portions of this location. Your first ideogram was very close. Good. So some of you got ice and snow earlier. I saw that. Some of you said warm. I saw some of you say cool, and that's perfectly fine. Again, we all have had, this is one of your first targets that we're doing, and we had 5 minutes of meditation. You have mushy snow. Just before you popped up, you was thinking Yellowstone. See, and Yellowstone would be a very good deduction, and then you'd break it down. You would break down why you felt like it was Yellowstone, and those would give you the data to get you to where you need to go. We're going to move into our next target. So sometimes, and I want to show you this. We're going to clear our mind. Put your pens down. Shake your hands. Take a deep breath in because we're shifting targets. Sometimes within a target, you'll use a dot. Right? Just a dot. Probing without ideogram or target coordinates. We teach that as well. You just probe into this. Sometimes I like to say to my inner self, take me to the target. Let me hear what needs to be heard. Let me say what needs to be said. Let me smell what needs to be smelled. Let me see what needs to be seen. Give me the perception. That's kind of how I talk to myself while I'm probing, if I don't use generative things. All right. While I am studying this target, I want you guys to go ahead and write your answers down here. This is a different target. It is not the same. What makes you say it's an event? Is this Marlon? And please forgive me for any mispronunciations of your names. What makes you feel like it's emotionally charged? Break these down. So Marlon, break down what you're saying here. That's good. So that's our big word, and then we want to narrow it down. So sometimes our big word is what we've identified it as, defined it as, and then we narrow that data down as small as we possibly can. All right, and let's just try this. This was just a nice trial of being able to show you the different ways to probe. So for those of you that need the target coordinates right now, we're going to shout them out to you. 93506834. Someone's got yes, the target numbers are the same because they are not contingent upon what the target is. We've got water meets land, large foliage, we've got dark, we've got people, chatter, busy, rushing. You have in it concern, worry, hope. So you seem to be energetically tapped in mentally, Marlon. That's good. Got some movement, rapid movement. That's good. Probe for, is this a natural or man-made environment? Let's be mindful of using the word entities. We'll use the word subjects, and that makes it broad for everyone. We don't want to always just go into that. So we have the man-made environment. We see natural here. So looks like we might have a little bit of both. Man-made circle. Okay. Do you have any structures here? Do you have any subjects here? Someone said entities, so I'm assuming he sees subjects. What are you feeling? And these are quick brush throughs. In my class, in my course, we will dig deep into every single one of these things that we're going through and get you used to feeling these things. This is a quick lesson here. You guys are doing wonderful. All right. So let's take a gander at what this target is. Ching Chong, Chong Ching. I have a little dyslexia, so I will read my words backwards sometimes. And I'll start throwing all my letters in the wrong places. But that's okay. This is in China. It's a very large urban area with 32 million people, metro area population, just really, really big. Really large urban area. You guys, someone said circle over water. Someone said they had a lot of subjects. Oh my God, I got it. I love it. I love the excitement. You were trying not to say city, but you know, you can say multiple structures, and city is actually in our vocabulary list. So that's okay, even if you do say these words. The city, what city is this? This is Chongqing in China. Oh, I love the excitement. You are not terrible at this. Is this Kylie? You're not at all. It takes a large level of calm mind. And so we only had a good 5 minutes worth of meditation. If that, I probably stopped it at 4. And there's also electronics in the way of things, right? Where we're talking, we have, you know, typing, we've got to write, we've got to move around. You know, there's a lot of moving parts here. And that's why we do have our courses. Again, this is a live stream, short, just informational video. So please, no one's bad at this. No one is bad at this at all. We are all built and created to do this. It's built in us, and it's just up to us to push it out and teach you. So no worries, my love. I love it. I love it. Yes, please never say you're bad at this. Even I feel like I'm terrible at this sometimes. And I've been doing this 11 years. I'll call Courtney. I did a horrible session. Here you go. It's what I got. I'm going to bed, right? I'm emotional. And then in the morning, he's like, great job. And I'm like, what? How? How is this? Okay, well, okay. You know, so even I feel crappy at this sometimes, but we're all amazing, and you all are amazing. I've got one more target for you guys before I close this out, if you'll stay with me. Let's shake this one off. Shake it off. Take it all out your mind. You will not ever do 3 targets in one day in a class. This is just to get you guys seeing a variety of different things and let you know that you have it in you. Take a second, put your pens down. Take a few deep breaths, clear your mind of the target we just did. It's no longer the same. Now remember, we have 2 ways of doing this. We have just our dot, or we have our target coordinates. Again, yes, we are using the same target coordinates because they don't matter. They're just there to distract you. It's like your favorite thing walking by while you're doing something. You know, that's all. You're just there to distract you so your subconscious can take over. 9350684. Pull out that ideogram. Tell me what it is. If you've just doing the dot, go ahead and do that. Let me know what ideograms you're getting as I'm studying this target. Is it hard, soft, semi-hard, semi-soft, wet, or mushy? Is it man-made? Is it natural? Is it movement? Is it energetics? What do you feel? Is this something dynamic? Probe and find out. Draw something, sketch something out. Okay, UFO is a huge deduction. That would be a non-surface structure if you see something. You know, I've always just kind of said animals when it came to subjects. I mean, I said that backwards. I have always just said animals when it came to that, but sometimes I will write subjects. I try not to think too hard about it because we don't know if it's an animal or not, and we just give our raw emotion in this space. Okay, shadows. Probe for structures, probe for land. Is it on the base surface? Are there elements of this off of the base surface? Is this man-made or natural, or both? Do you have water, flat surface? Is it not located on the surface at all? Do you have any subjects here? Probe for all of these things. Just quickly, you have any mountains? Have any? So we just have a few non-surface structures, but you guys have named them. Let's try not to name them. Do we have any lights? Do we have any energetics? Is this a natural or urban environment? Is it harsh? Is it not harsh? You have back and forward movement. Okay, lots of movement. I see lots of movement here. Something non-natural. Okay, we would say man-made or artificial, but I do understand why you use that term. Got energetics. Topography, natural, semi-hard. Good stuff. Up and down movement, above ground. There's something going on above ground. We have all these different aspects. And just remember, some of you are landing in different parts of this target. So all of you will gather a piece or component of this target. Again, with this being a couple of minutes of getting information, imagine having an hour worth of getting information for one target. Okay, what do you have here? And then I'm going to bring you guys into a little collective deep mind probe. So I want you to write C, D, M, P, and put a dot underneath that. But before you do this, put your pens down, put your phones down, take your hands off of the devices that you have. We have natural, wet, soft, chaotic, choppy movement, chaotic, energetic, shallow, drop, deduction, waterfall, downward curves. Okay. I want you to close your eyes for a second. This gives you a dabble into some telepathy. Take some deep breaths really quick and hold that deep breath in when you take it. Push it out slowly through your mouth. I want you to probe that dot. This is a collective deep mind probe of any subjects you may have found or the energy you may have touched upon in this target. What does it feel like? What's going on in your mind? What's it moving like? What do you hear? What thoughts are coming in? What words? What are the feelings? What are your emotions? And if you can't tap into it, do that breathing again. Just breathe in and let out anything that might be your distractions and zone into this. Maybe touch your heart in your solar plex area or under chest area. You have surprise. Did I see marine life? Okay, floating. Centering with self. Connect yourself with this target. Connect yourself with the elements of the subjects of this target. Put yourself in perspective of feeling what they may feel. This one is a target event. I will tell you that much. What do you feel? What's happening here? I see I came in so late I missed the coordinates, so I think I'm picking up the viewers. I smell people. Well, I like the fact that you just said I smell people. I think that's wonderful. Mermaid, one subject using it. And it's okay if you came in late. You don't even need the coordinates. You can draw a dot and zoom right on in real quick. Clouds, that would be cloud dynamics. Mental harmony. I hear sounds. What type of sounds? What are you feeling in? And with telepathy in collective deep mind probes, it's totally okay if right now you didn't pick up on anything, because there are a few tactics that I like to do. I take telepathy very seriously, and I like to be fully grounded and centered and have the time to allow my thoughts to wander, so I know what are mine and what are theirs. Okay, this is mine. Let me release that. Okay, this doesn't feel like me. Let me keep this here really quick. This is mine. Let me release that. I don't need to know what I want for dinner right now. Right? Okay. Stop thinking about my child. Stop thinking about my personal emotions of something that made me happy or sad earlier, of the book I was reading. I like to be able to remove my own thoughts and then become the thoughts of the person or being or subject that I am telepathically communicating with. I like the people that's telling me what they smell. Smelling is amazing. Smelling is one of my most favorite senses. And touch, to feel. I will walk up in my sessions to things and just wipe my hands down on them and move them around. But tell me what you feel in the subjects. You guys are telling me about the environment. Go to the subjects. We're doing this collective deep mind probe, so I can give you a touch of telepathy if you so choose. It smells like lit matches. Okay. I like these answers, and let me tell you why. I'm going to show you the target, and I'm going to explain a few things to you. Let's pull this up. This is the Battle of Baghdad, Iraq, 2023. This went on for 6 days. Battles make me emotional. April 3rd through the 9th. You would see a lot of destruction, demolition. A lot of you got the lit match smell. That sold me. I like that was stated. I smell people. We shouldn't be able to smell people. There's a reason why we did. I got it more in my quick sketch than in my. No, that's good. It's good. Sometimes it doesn't matter where you get it, as long as you get it. This is a satellite imagery of this battle. It just looks like half the world fell off. Send me your drawings. Send me your things. I will type in my email address for you guys, and I'll have it at the bottom of the screen in a few princessviews@gmail.com. But yes, this battle was very big. The reason why I like Burning Forest, the reason why I like some of the things that I saw is I got chaotic energy. Some of you tried to label and name it versus describe it, but I understood what you were saying. You guys had a lot of structures. You had a flow of thoughts and emotions that is foreign to you. It's foreign to you because you've never been amongst a battle. That's a good data. These are good data. You had a lot of people had upward movements, a lot of fast movements, almost a rhythm. Sometimes explosions and shootings, and even our voices carrying about in our things, they sound rhythmic. You had feelings of anticipation. Whoever's relaxed in this moment is either a part of the grand scheme or is just ready for whatever's going to happen. And that's kind of healthy. We had a lot of different things in here. Surprise, the element of surprise. Definitely got movement. Good job, Charlotte. I think this was very beautiful. You're curious as to my intent. My intent when given the target is clear. I have no intentions but to allow you to connect to the target and receive what you're going to get. That's all I think about when I'm doing my targets. So my intention, the intention of the target coordinates is for the viewer to gather XYZ of information. You know, we shouldn't be thinking of anything else. My goal is to allow you to for us to be telepathically connected so that you see what I'm looking at. So while you guys are doing your session or at this moment kind of dropping in your few gems of data that you have here, I am looking at a piece of paper with the target or with the target description on it, or a picture, something that has been pre-chosen prior to this course just because of how dynamic it is. I may have a few minutes to answer any questions. Again, my email address is, if it can be placed at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to work on that. But as for now, I'll type it in the chat. Got something about military waiting for something. That's interesting. I feel that I see the tiny section of, okay, thank you. And keep bringing this to me. And feel free to send me your little sessions that you just did today. And you can communicate with me. A lot of people like to email me about their lives. I am flattered and honored that you guys do that and feel safe doing that with me. So forgive me if it takes me a while to respond to some of the information, because sometimes if I see that it's something very detailed, I want to focus on it, and I'll go to my other ones who are looking for course information or like a quick answer here first, and then I'll give the longer ones my full undivided attention. So I do my best to try to respond to everyone personally. I don't have an automated list of things here. I do my best to kind of go through and really respond to what you need from me. Looks like I should wipe this off so that you can see. And I'll do some more cleaning soon. There we are. That makes it easier to see a little bit. princessviews@gmail.com. Thank you so much with all these awesome names, Space Academy. I would love to see you guys in my class. We will be doing our course certification. If you just want certification for learning. We also have our teachers certification. So those of you that are looking to want to help us broaden the horizon of this world and save this planet, that want to teach as well, you can come to myself, Intisam, Shantae, for teacher certifications, and you will be tested on these things and given whatever that degree is and that certification to do so. I love you all. I am grateful for you all. There are so many of you that have been here with me since my very first time when I dropped the whiteboard because I was so nervous of what I was doing. And now we are here. And so I am grateful for you all. Farsight is grateful for you all as a whole. We really, really appreciate you. Continue to watch our live streams. Continue to come on and check us out. Continue to go to farsightprime.com and check out our videos and check out our lessons. Check out what we're doing and send it to your friends. Again, I'm grateful for you all and thankful for you all. And I love every single one of you. I feel like if we are face to face, and this is face to face to me for right now, I feel like if we have the opportunity to speak and meet, then we are meant to be soul family. So you all have an amazing day. Feel free to email me about anything. From my heart to yours, have a wonderful, wonderful, amazing day. Thank you so much.